Yeah. Yeah, we're doing it. We are actually doing it. The journey of a beef cow. ChavezzSlovakia. My grandfather had a farm, you guys know. He sold it now recently, now lives in Vegas. Thank you. I'm still getting messages asking about updates for him. He is doing better. He's actually improving. Still in the ER. Okay, he has not left. Not doing a whole lot of conversation at this point. It's been over a week now, but you know, we gotta stay positive. We gotta, you know, do what we gotta do. So I do appreciate that. But yeah, shouts out to him. Yeah, so Journey of a Beef Cow. This should be pretty interesting because Sam Manila thinks a little bit different than the rest of us. So this guy, man, he just comes up with the craziest thoughts for these things. I love to watch these. So let's check it out. Sam Manila, goddamn. The Journey of a Beef Cow.
Hey kids, do you ever feel like life has passed you by? Does the daily grind leave you feeling trapped in your own life like an animal in a cage?
Not normally.
That doesn't mean you can't enjoy some fun facts about livestock while you're at it. Today, I'll be giving a tour of the life, death, and processing of the American beef cattle. Disclaimer, this video is only a basic summary of some common industry practices. No two farms are alike, some are nicer, some are worse. I'm not a shill, please don't get mad at me. Now, in the beginning, there was nothing. And then God said, "Let there be light." And it was good. Henceforth, you shall be called Craig. At birth, the calf weighs somewhere between 60 and 100 pounds. The males are typically castrated within the first couple of weeks, usually without anesthetic. The main point of this is to keep the steers mellow later in life, but it also stops their male hormones from giving the meat an off taste that the American palate isn't really accustomed to. Anyway, things started off pretty good for Craig. Drinking milk, hanging out, the life. After a while, he figures out you can eat the floor. That's cool. But then, after about 10 months, he gets loaded into the cattle cars. If you're a history buff like me, you know that's not a good sign. Little does Craig know, he's been auctioned off to a feedlot 1,000 miles away. Here the cattle...
that is not our experience. We didn't do that. We didn't ship cows off to feedlots. Everything was grass-fed. Or if we did do sugar feed instead of hay, because my grandfather grew his own hay at his farm. It's not one of these industrial farms. Damn, maybe I should be telling people that since people don't know about farms. We did not have an industrial farm. This is a family-owned, you know, all kosher farm, right? Everything was hay-fed and stuff like that. We didn't do any of this bullshit.
They're packed together like sardines, if sardines were 500-pound terrestrial mammals. The menu consists of random roughage and energy-dense feed like corn so they can pack on the pounds more quickly. Overall, this environment puts a good deal of stress on the beast, which can end up taking a toll on his health. But
bro, we had the chillest cows here, homie. We didn't have no fucking stressed out cows. Let me not take this personally and just let them fucking finish.
It's nothing a little visit from the antibiotics fairy can't fix. Once fully grown, Craig gets taken to the packing plant. This is where the magic happens, and by magic, we mean mechanically automated goring into commodities. This is where things get messy, so try to forget that we gave this random animal a name a minute ago. In order to keep things as humane as possible, a worker will first use this device, referred to as a stunner. Here's a demonstration. This renders the beast instantly unconscious, or worse, but potato at this point. Its ankle is then attached to a conveyor rail, which will gently guide the animal along the rest of its journey. First, the cow gets to talk to this man. He's called the Sticker. Can you guess what he does? If you said that he gouges out throats for a living, you'd be correct. Over the course of about a minute, the flow goes from torrential downpour to incontinent poodle, by which point our beloved bovine can continue on his way. At the next station, the cow is subjected to high voltage electrical stimulation. Hopefully the nervous system is all out of steam by this point, but if not, the boys on the killing floor will have a great story to tell their wives. Just kidding. The FDA estimates that 93% of meat worker marriages are in shambles. Who knew that 11 hours of pure slaughter every day could desensitize a man? Anyway, electrical stimulation basically works to speed up the onset of rigor mortis. Getting this process out of the way means the meat won't toughen up once it reaches the freezer. Next, the carcass undergoes a thorough power washing. Like the noble mortician, this hose works to make a lifetime lifetime of filth disappear. Unfortunately, though beauty is only skin deep, manure runs to the core, so the cow must be disemboweled to prevent contamination later on. And we might as well get rid of all these other gross bits while we're at it. Then the feds stick their nose in things to make sure everything is as it should be. Yup, it's a cow. Finally, we send it down the line, evacuate the spine, bifurcate the hind, reticulate the spline, and power wash it again just for good measure. This whole process from bashing to slashing to splashing takes a mere 15 minutes to complete. That means it takes the same amount of time to process 3 half-ton mammals and 1 scheduled license renewal. Try puzzling that one out. After hanging out in the cooler for a couple days, the beef is broken down into its many cuts: chuck, loin, sirloin, what have you. This is the good stuff. That'll get shipped off as is to barbecues, bar mitzvahs, and bargain bins all across the country. Then you got all these misfit bits hanging out wherever else. Still technically flesh, so we have machines pluck it off, pulp it, and use it to make hamburgers, hot dogs, and the like. Then all the garbage even Americans can't stomach is sent off to the rendering plant to be made into whatever else. So there you have it. I don't really have an outro, except, kinda gross, right? Anyway, that's all for today. Till next time, I'm Salmonella, and thank you for watching.
That was good, bro. That was good, Salmonella. So that's, I mean, industrial farming is like that, yeah, for sure. It's way different on a on a regular farm. Like my grandfather's farm wasn't one of those. Like, maybe that's why people say some random ass stuff that I just don't understand when I talk about his farm. But family-owned farms are very different. He did own like a ton of land, but you only have, I mean, at one point we had like 500 head of cattle, but we had huge, I mean, there were plenty of spaces to have them. I mean, there's huge lots and stuff. They're free range, I guess is the way to put it. I mean, they're pinned up, but we didn't have them in like small pens. And the only reason that you gate them off is so they don't eat all the grass, and so the other grass can grow, so then you let them into the other pens, so you kind of limit like what fields that they're in. I mean, it's like, what, 100 acres, 100, 200 acres or so per pen? I mean, the pens are gigantic, so it's not anything like that where they're talking about like a football field long. I mean, I'm talking like multiple football fields per pen. So yeah, there's plenty of fucking space, dude. And then when you take them to the butchers are way more humane than that. I mean, it's still done by hand. It's not the friendliest of work, I mean, but it's definitely not like that. That is just like, just takes the human touch out of it, man. Just makes it so mechanical and gross feeling. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. ChavezzSlovakia. Have fun. Peace.
Crocs, 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 Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. Wearing Crocs, boy. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. I'm rocking Crocs. Wearing Crocs, boy. My Crocs are gold. My pops is old. My Crocs got soul. My Crocs are bold. I go to church wearing Crocs. I'm always turned wearing Crocs. My Crocs are great. Your Crocs are lame. With my Crocs, I can cross a lake. Crocs, 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 Crocs.